Good morning, guys. Do you like my beautiful hair? I woke up like this. Anyways, my name is Nico, and I am uploading a video every single day so I get better at speaking to the camera. Today, I decided to make a video based on something I've been noticing over my life. It's a feeling that's pretty brutal in my opinion, and I don't feel like a lot of people voice it out. And it's that hard work might be cope. I feel like some of you are just hear that and immediately are gonna be like, oh, this guy's just lazy, and some of you are gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense. But let me explain to you why I feel like this. So I'm the type of person that has never drank alcohol or done any drugs. I've been and I am overweight, so I've indulged in that kind of sense of pleasure and avoiding the hard work of being fit. And sometimes I question, maybe I should drink. Maybe I should do a little drugs. Maybe at the end of my life it would have been better if I drank a little bit, if I did drugs a little bit. Of course, that comes with the risks of getting addicted and being really unhealthy. And I think the risk is not worth taking, but that doesn't mean that an ideal life wouldn't have a little bit of a right balance of the wrong things. Because at the end of the day, alcohol and drugs, they do like provide some type of good feeling. And I'm a decently logical guy, so I've kind of defined an ideal life as the following. I define an ideal life as the optimization of good feelings and emotions and experiencing the least amount of bad feelings and emotions over a long enough period of time. So of course, if you want to just feel good emotions and no bad emotions, you could just be drinking 24/7. But of course, that's only in the moment, and over the course of your life, you're going to probably be most likely more miserable. But I don't know, maybe there's a right mix of alcohol you can have in there, or maybe there isn't. Maybe you would actually be better if you somehow get the effects of alcohol and drugs while being sober. I don't know the science. Another thing about hard work and achievement is that it's hard. I know I sound like a pussy right now. It's hard. Man, I'm disciplined right now. I'm the most disciplined I've ever been in my life. Probably more disciplined than 95% of the world right now. I have a business that's doing pretty good. I have a coffee catering business in Miami. I'm going to the gym every day. My diet's been healthy. And it's a lot. You're sacrificing a lot. And is doing this, I don't think it's gonna give me necessarily a happier life than if I were to be okay with a white picket fence and a nice girlfriend, a nice wife and some kids, which these days you do have to make a decent amount of money and you can't just be average, you have to be slightly above. But I'm looking for more. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. I want to be a multi-millionaire. I want to be able to fly first class whenever I want, and I want to have a really nice house in Newport, Rhode Island. And it's a lot to sacrifice. And I don't think it's going to make me happier. I think I'm conscious that I'm driven by pure achievement and sort of slight materialism. It's materialism. To be fair, the first class flights are simply because I'm trying to avoid the pain of going long distances, being uncomfortable. It just sucks so much. I'd rather be able to sleep well in the planes when I'm going across the ocean. You know what I mean. And another thing I have to say about the sacrifice that is hard work. People online tell me that when you're working hard, your life, it's the best period of your life. Like, hard work makes people happier, and I'm sure it does, especially when compared to doing absolutely nothing all day, probably just brain rotting. But I've been happier in my life before. I'm annoyed sometimes at work, have to do things that I don't want to do. I I can't numb myself anymore. Maybe it'll get better in the future. But I'm not necessarily happier. I'm fine. I have to keep going. My life is probably harder. I'm feeling good. The good thing is I'm not depressed. And that's how it really is. And one of the biggest reasons, the reason I feel like that achievement and hard work is such a big cope, is because the only reason people deem hard work and achievement as such a high virtue is because they have to cope with the fact that they're gonna die and that they're aging and that their youth is gone. Up until last year, I was so convinced that the peak of my life was when I was 8 years old. My best friend lived in the apartment right above from me, and we would go play football / soccer every single day in the park with the local kids, and it was so fun. I had so much fun. I had great memories. There was no bad in the world. I was oblivious. I was ignorant. you know, I was a kid, and I feel like it's just bad to say, when you say you peaked at a young age, it's judged socially, and people don't like that. But objectively, it was pretty good. Until last year, I took a trip with my then girlfriend, now wife, to Newport, Rhode Island, and New York and Boston. We had so much time. It was so fun. There was this one period, I remember one specific moment when when my phone stopped working. It was my brand new iPhone 16 Pro. It stopped working for some whatever reason. I've had it for about a month. I'm recording on my iPhone right now, and it hasn't broke since. I feel like it was God or something. And I just experienced such intense laughter. I don't know, we were laughing about the fact, cracking stupid jokes, and that was the best moment of maybe in my life. I was in the cliff walk in Newport, Rhode Island, right above the 50 steps. If you ever want to go there, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, I think hard work and achievement is coping with death and loss of youth, because you have to get older. I feel like if you had to choose a period in your time when you're the happiest, the most fulfilled, it's when you're young. It's the fact that we have to get older, that we have to find something to do. It's because we're forced to. It's not a completely free choice. If free will exists, which by the way, I don't believe in free will, then it's not really a choice. It's something we're forced to do. We're forced to deal with the reality of reality, and we choose to find some meaning, but it's not really an objective truth that's good. Does that make sense? But at the end of the day, I don't know. There's probably studies out there that say that this is the right thing to do, the right amount of alcohol to have, the right mindset to have, and the people who believe this are happier. But then one more last thing is, we don't know anything, right? I asked my sister, who's really good at being happy, what's the best piece of advice you have towards being happy? And she said, believe in God and trust that God is good. All you atheists are getting triggered right now. But to be honest, if you truly believe that, those two things, and that's the foundation of your life, you're going to be freaking happy, man. You're going to be happy. If you believe things like all things happen for a reason, they're really good beliefs to hold. Now we come to the question of, is truth more valuable than utility? Utility being how useful it is for you, because those beliefs are useful. The part that's debated is it true? I don't know. That's something to think about. Alright, one last thing I have written down. Maybe life isn't the way I defined it. Maybe the ideal life isn't the way I defined earlier in this video, which was the greatest amount of good feelings and the lowest amount of bad feelings over a long enough period of time. Maybe achievement and the right relationships and stories. There's other ways you can measure these things. Maybe someone who suffered more, who has a worse ratio of suffering to happiness, maybe that life could be better. Maybe it depends on a lot of factors, and we're just measly little human beings. Who are we to know? All right, guys, God bless you. If you believe in love, or that all things happen for a reason, or in karma or anything like that, and you probably already believe in God, but who am I to know? Jordan Peterson made a video with Jubilee a while ago that he was really hated on, but I agree with him so much, and I like him, and it hurts me that you guys are hating on him, because you guys are hating on me.